So I figured I would try to do the long video today, to kind of explain everything very randomly, I'm sure. But I want to kind of tell you what I've been through to where I'm at now. That way, as I refer to things in my video, like in future videos, it'll probably refer back to something that I've said in this video. So as I've said, I was born with CDH. I was born with LCDH, so I had a hole between my heart, my lungs, and all my organs in my chest cavity. We're snowflakes. Each of us have different signs, different complications, long-term effects, short-term effects. Some people have longer hospital stays or shorter hospital stays. Some have to be on ECMO. The survival rate when I was born, I had a 20% chance of living, and I had my surgery at an hour old, my first one, to repair that hernia, and I've been through a lot since then. My eating is a big thing. A lot of foods I can't have or make me sick, and then of course I don't like a lot of foods too, so I can be classified as a pretty picky eater sometimes. But then my chest pain, I get such severe chest pain that I felt that if I took a knife and sliced my chest open, it would ease the pain. And I never acted on that, but there were some nights that it was close. I go to the hospital and they couldn't figure out what caused the pain or anything like that. So I finally just stopped doing that, and I stopped trying to figure out things for years, and it led to more issues, and I progressed probably further negatively in my health than I would have if I would have pressured doctors to look more into it and stuff. But for most of my life, I heard, "You're a woman, you're exaggerating, you're a woman, you don't know what pain is, you're a woman, you can't have that, or the odds of you having that are so low that we're just gonna say you don't." And I've heard that so much, even up until last year when I got diagnosed with Barrett's. Before I did, I was getting GI scopes, upper GIs, every 3 months for years. And they're like, "Well, we can't say you don't have Barrett's, but we can't say you do have Barrett's. So we're going to go with you don't have Barrett's." And I explained how my dad has stage 4 Barrett's, and Barrett's runs in my family, and I produce so much acid and it eats away my esophagus. I have grade D esophagitis from that. And they're like, "Well, not very many women get Barrett's, so you're a woman, don't worry about it, you probably don't have it." Finally, I heard that in June of last year, and then finally in September of last year, they were able to confirm that I do have Barrett's. And not only that I do have Barrett's, but it's starting to transform. So I haven't gotten to transforming yet, but my cells have started to alter. So it's not like I just got Barrett's. I've had it for a little while now, and they wouldn't believe me. And it sucks. And my hernia, they found my hernia 6 years before I found a surgeon who would do the surgery on it. And I kept hearing that I was exaggerating of the pain, and it tore me down a lot. Like, I started to believe them, like, am I being that dramatic? Does it really not hurt as bad as I feel it hurts? Am I just seeking attention? And when I got the hernia surgery in November of 2021, they took half my stomach out of my hernia. And then it took them 4 hours to do that hernia surgery because they were going through things, organs and stuff that had moved around since I've grown, since my surgery when I was born. So all that pain was real pain that I was feeling, and I was being excused because I was a woman that was exaggerating. It angered me for a while. I was so mad, and it just, like, it took me a while to not be mad about what I have gone through. So I have Barrett's, I have grade D esophagitis, I produce so much acid, it's eaten at my esophagus. They tried to do, when they did that hernia surgery, they tried to do the wrap where they take your stomach and wrap it around your esophagus, and the bottom 2 inches eroded off because my esophagus wasn't strong enough, so we weren't able to do that. So my surgeon, who's been amazing since I found him, he's been working with me, and I had that surgery in November of 2021, and then by February I had a new hernia. Not that I reherniated or anything, a new hernia. And at that point he's pretty much said, I can keep fixing these hernias, but it's going to become more dangerous, and I don't want to just keep fixing these. We need to find something that we can do that will hopefully, it's not a guarantee of course, but hopefully slow down everything that's going on, stop some things, maybe everything, who knows. So he spent almost a year talking with him and 4 other doctors about my case off the clock, about what would be the best case scenarios. One of them, they said that I could just keep going with the meds, and I've had meds thrown at me my whole life. They don't really do anything thus far, and if anything, all that's happened was I have become allergic to painkillers, because when I couldn't get help for my back that needed physical therapy, they just kept throwing painkillers at me, and my body has finally started rejecting them, and I am allergic to painkillers now. And with that, the chances of everything going as it is and getting Barrett's and the cancer and stuff is high. So of course I wanted to do a more extreme approach, and so they said you have 2 choices. They said you can either attempt that surgery again where they wrap my stomach around my esophagus, but because it's damaged they'd have to pull down my esophagus and wrap it around. But if my esophagus slipped back up, then that could cause some issues, and all that would do was not allow so much acid to go up, so that would only take care of some of the issues. And then the last choice that they gave me is of course the most extreme choice. It's the most dramatic, I guess. I'm going to end up getting the gastric bypass surgery, because gastric bypass surgery used to be used to reduce acid, but it is a weight loss surgery. So not only am I going to have to change my whole lifestyle and the way I eat and everything like that, but I also had to fight how much weight I'm going to lose, and face some challenges that way. But with talking with my doctors, as long as I have, and fully trusting the doctors I do have right now, I do know that this is the best choice. We're going to on April 24th do the gastric bypass surgery, and we're going to hopefully repair the hernia that I got last February, if it is safe for my body to handle. So my hernia surgeon will be in the operating room, and if it is safe enough, then he will also fix my hernia, so I won't have to do that again later. But I've faced many issues. I've been sick many, many times throughout the years, and this has been my way of life for a long time, my whole life. And so I feel confident in this choice, and it is, luckily, if something does go wrong, it can be reversed. Of course, it won't be easy, but they don't think it will. They think that it's worth the risk, and I do agree with them. And so in 1 month to the day, that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to kind of just talk about it. I'm hoping that starting this channel, will kind of let people learn about CDH, but B, let survivors know they're not alone, because it can feel like you are. I'll talk about some of the charity that I've worked with them and everything, and some of the people that I've met since this. But as an adult survivor, we're not, there aren't as many of us as there are children survivors. And the thing is, our lives aren't guaranteed, and I get no one's life is guaranteed, but ours, our fight's never over until our life is over. So last year, sadly, I lost my very first survivor that I met that was around my age. She was a little younger than me, and at 31 years old, she passed away. And we got her longer than we should have. She shouldn't have lived that long, so we're just thankful for the time we had. And that's true, yes, but that's not what we should be saying. She fought so hard, and she lived an amazing life, and she got married and everything. And it shouldn't be that she just passed away in her sleep at 31 years old. That's not natural, even with CDH. But CDH is so unknown and so understudied so far in life that as adults, we're the guinea pigs. Like, some CDHers, they decide to stick with their pediatricians because adult doctors overall don't understand CDH. And I sadly never had a pediatrician that I worked with as a kid that I went through all this. It was kind of ignore things. So I didn't really fully understand what I was going through until I became an adult. And so it's been a hard time finding doctors, finding people who understand and believe me and everything. But the community is amazing. It's so great, but it is so heartbreaking. I, for a little bit, was the representative for my state for one of the charities, and so I would go meet families that were going to have babies that were born with CDH, or have had babies born with CDH that are survivors, or they lost them. And it was hard. I went to 7 baby funerals. The oldest one was 31 days old, and that was within 3 years, and that was just the ones who signed up with our charity. And to go to places like that as a survivor, they were very understanding, but it was hard, because it's like, here I am, while you had to lay your child to rest that was born with the same thing. And so I couldn't do it anymore. It just was a lot on me. And so I still talk with the families and stuff, and I'm still a part of the charity. I give props to anyone who does anything like that, because watching a family who lost a child is one of the hardest things that I have ever done. And so it definitely made me realize how lucky we are, and how lucky my family is and everything like that. But it's been a lot, and I'm going, and I have an amazing support system that I'm so thankful for. And I will just use this channel to teach as much as I can, and to have people, if they ever want to reach out to learn more, or if they are someone born with it or have family that has been born with it that just want to talk, I would love to. I would really love to help any way that I can, and I really just want to use this to help me get through my nerves of everything, and just try and teach people along the way. So I hope you join me on my journey and ask questions that you may have about everything, and I would love to educate what I can. And if you would like to learn more, especially about all the babies, and if you ever want to help, what you can do and stuff, the charity that I've helped with is Cherubs. It's cdhi.org is their website, and they explain the disease, and they explain ways that you can help or donate time or whatever it may be. And I really encourage that, and I really thank you guys for who are following me on my journey, and I hope you learn something and share with other people what you learn.